Hey guys, Rascal here, and today I'm going to be talking about the reboot of Ben 10 from Cartoon Network, or has been called by fans Ben 10 2016. Ben 10 2016, of course, came out in 2016, of course, and this was supposed to be a reboot of the classic Ben 10 series from the early 2000s. And of course, the original was created by Dwayne McDuffie, and it ran for about 4 seasons. Had a live action movie, a animated TV movie, and then gained three sequel series, where it had Alien Force and Alternate Alien, in which there was another live action movie, and then Omniverse, which was the last show after McDuffie's passing, and it showed a more wackier version of Ben 10. And I've kind of been a little bit skeptical of Omniverse in the past. I have not seen the whole series because for some reason my service does not have the full series. I don't know why. And there are some really good episodes of the show, but at the time I just couldn't get used to the fact that they had altered a lot of the characters and a bunch of characters that were never there before and tried to make into some weird action comedy or buddy cop movie, and it kind of threw me off for a little bit. But I'm willing to give the show another chance and see what storylines they develop with it, because as far as I can tell, it went on for a long time. But even though I had my skepticism about that show, I can say it's probably a lot better than the Ben 10 reboot. And as a lot of these reboots go, it sucks. Now, granted, there are some great reboots from the 2010s that were fantastic, like Thundercats 2011, Voltron Legendary Defender, DuckTales, and My Little Pony, just to name a few. But for some reason, they thought they could either improve Ben 10 or just make it for little kids. At least that's what I'm getting, because what I've seen so far of this show is just mind-boggling. I mean, there are things in there that don't make a lot of sense. It's supposed to be acting as a reboot, but when you watch it, there's a lot of continuity from the original show, or Alien Force, or Ultimate Alien, or Omniverse. So the weird thing is that even though this is supposed to be a whole different continuity, restarting the franchise, it chooses to still take stuff from all over the series and mesh them into one. Kind of like another show I can think about. Right now, this show has already had 4 seasons since 2016. I didn't think it would be on this long. I kind of thought it would be done after 1 or 2 seasons, but somehow this thing has had over 100 episodes and is still going. It just might be the next Teen Titans Go, only not as much criticism as Teen Titans Go. And the one thing I could say they do a little differently is that they went around the world in one season, which the original actually didn't really do. They went around the country, but that was because it was summer vacation. They didn't really go around the world, but it seems like they're on Phineas and Ferb time. They're going around the world. They're going to Japan and Brazil and China and France and all these countries, and somehow in the span of summer. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the storyline is basically the same, where Ben 10 is a kid on summer vacation. He finds an alien watch that lets him turn to 10 different aliens. But here's the thing, it reimagines the story. So you don't even get an introduction to Ben and his aliens. You only get them while you watch the show. There is no origin. They quickly show the watch coming to Earth and then Ben has it. That's the entire thing. Then when they do have an origin episode, it's shared with a flashback as if you already know. Unless you've already seen the series and the target's for new kids, they aren't going to know what the original story is, which made 0 sense in terms of the show's continuity, which I don't think is really a big deal to it. Now, as for the characters, Tara Strong returned to do the voice of Ben, and I think Dwight Schultz returned as Dr. Animo, and that's it. Everyone else is different. The aliens are all I apologize. Kevin Levin's in here and is still voiced by Greg Sipes, even though someone else was doing his voice as a kid. Other than those 3, everyone's different. Everybody has been recasted all together, and they've just gotten all new villains. They've kind of kept it down to Vilgax, who is completely different now. He's supposed to be the biggest threat in the Ben 10 franchise, and I don't know. They had him introduction like Toffee, where Ben could actually turn into Vilgax, but he didn't know it was Vilgax. And then once he got his DNA back, it was Vilgax all the time. And I don't know. It was just weird. I wasn't really into Vilgax as much as I was in the original series. He was a big threat. He would kill people. He was no joke. Now, I don't know. He's supposed to be a threat here too, but he's still a joke. I don't know how they did that. Then he's also voiced this time by Yuri Lowenthal, which I guess is supposed to be a shout out to the teenage Ben 10, which doesn't make a lot of sense because Yuri Lowenthal doesn't sound anything like Steve Blum or Vilgax in general. So don't ask me where that came from. They have the High Override, which is a alien. It's a alien emperor for a new alien he's got on his watch that doesn't really stay. The Forever Knight. Singular. There are no Forever Knights anymore. They're no longer a whole organization on defeating dragons. It's now one knight who wants to alter history and remove aliens from Earth. That's it. Kevin's in here, but now he's an anti-hero. He appears like nearly every episode now. He has an Omnitrix. He no longer has the powers he did in the original show, nor in the sequel shows. He just has an Omnitrix that turns the evil versions of Ben's aliens, and he's been supposedly the better version of Ben 10. And he still has a crush on Gwen, but I think they're making him an anti-hero now, but still sort of a bully. And he's also getting a spin-off, which he doesn't need. Okay, who else? A Charmcaster. She's changed altogether. She's an emo teen girl who wants revenge on Gwen because reasons. That is it. That is all. No one near is interesting. And she's no longer related to Hex. Hex is in here. Can't do anything. His magic sucks. My Little Pony is better magic. That's it. Maurice and Sydney, who are... It's a bug, and a scientist whose bodies got switched. That's it. They're the new ones. Steve Smythe, another new villain. He's like steampunk hates technology. That's it. Dr. Animo. Same thing he did before. There's really nothing different with him. Not really. He's the same. Zombozo, who appears too much and was creepy as hell. He was like the Joker of Ben 10. He's not really much of a threat anymore. Not really. And all of his minions are kids now. Don't ask why. I really don't know. And then they have Lagrange, who's a race car driver. You see what I'm saying? None of these villains are interesting. None of them. They got a few of the originals, and the most of the rest of these people are new ones. And I don't want to go on too long, but the point is, this version of Ben 10 is not that good. The aliens, he's got almost all the original aliens, but they mixed him up with the newer ones. And then they actually took out a lot of the aliens that Ben will never access again after a season, replaced with new aliens that they create and are not from any version of the show. Who, of course, are all voiced by different people. The only save is Josh Keaton as Accelerate from Mama Entertainments, but everyone else is voiced by different persons. Like, I'm not understanding a lot of these choices. And lastly, I wanted to save the main characters for last, was for Ben, Grandpa, and Gwen. Ben has been reduced to just being a kid who has literally no common sense. He does whatever he wants, has to learn lessons that don't stick with him the next episode. He always disobeys Grandpa Max. He's sort of a brat most of the time, and his goofiness and idiocy is supposed to be seen as, oh, it's funny, it's just him being a kid, and it's not funny. He's not saving the world because, he wants to be a hero, he knows the right thing to do, and there was always a conflict if, was he doing this for fame, or was he doing it because it was the right thing to do? All that's gone. He just wants to do it to get internet famous, and this is good enough. Grandpa Max, I don't think he's a plumber anymore. Or if he is, it's supposed to be a secret, and they want it to be a big reveal because he only has one plumber friend, and they keep bringing things up. But that's it. That's really it. There's not much else to Grandpa. You don't know if he's a plumber. If he is, it's a reveal. And all the characteristics he had in the original series are gone. He's just sort of the bumbling grandpa who likes to go to boring places because all the places they go to are for little kids and not interesting to older kids or adults. Then you have Gwen, whose personality has been changed completely altogether. she's kind of like Ben now. She's half the time she's the smart one, half the time she's as dim as Ben. And there was even a point they brought in Michael Morningstar, who is now a 12-year-old boy who was a TV star. His goal, of course, is the same gaining power, but he's also an abusive boyfriend. I'm not kidding you. That's literally the canonical term for Michael Morningstar. He's now an abusive 10-year-old or 12-year-old, which is very disturbing to have in this kid's show. I really don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but something's wrong if you got this kid acting like this at 10 years old. But yeah, I mean, they got some other villains, but I don't want to go into them because they're not interesting. Gwen isn't even as interesting now because she does things, and now they want to make her that she's an independent hero. She doesn't need Ben. She wants to be treated with respect like Ben, even though they did a whole 2 episodes about that and showed that she was capable on her own and being a teammate and being a superhero, whether she was Lucky Girl or not. That's been changed, and now they've also proved that if you tick off Gwen, she'll join the villain side just to teach Ben a lesson. Yes, that is a canonical thing that happens in the show. She joins on Bozo because she was tired of being treated like she didn't matter to the team, and Ben got all the glory, and Gwen never got any consideration or anything for the superhero work. Okay, I don't want to go on too long, but yeah, this reboot, there's not that much nice to say about it. I'm really trying to find the best parts about it. There isn't. Nothing. I mean, everything they've done has been pretty lame. The best thing I think they did was the crossover with OKKO, Steven Universe, and some other shows for the crossover Nexus. That's the best thing that was in there. And that's it. I mean, if you do like the show, no disrespect whatsoever. You like the show, you like that it's a little silly, you like that, it's simpler, there's no complexity, that's fine, because this show is clearly meant to be just for little kids, and the seriousness or the balance and the eeriness of the original is no more. It's just goofy, silly fun, and if you like the goofy, silly reboot or something like Teen Titans Go, you would like this. But for me and a lot of these other Ben 10 fans, it's just not as fun. Also, Tetrax is a villain now. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he's a bounty hunter, which was his cover originally. No, that's just him now. He doesn't care who he has to work for, or if he kills somebody. He's just a bad guy. That's it. And they just ruined a really awesome character. But, yeah, you can let me know what you guys think of the Ben 10 reboot in the comments. Do you actually like it and don't mind that it's silly and toned down? Or do you pretty much not like it at all like me and a lot of the other fans? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Later!